Let me tell you guys a story. So, there's a yacht broker called Adam, and for specific reasons, this is not a real story. So, yeah, there's a broker called Adam, and during COVID and sort of the period after COVID, he made a lot of money in the yacht industry. The yacht industry was flourishing, his sales was through the roof, he was getting a lot of business. Now, one day, Adam got a knock on the door. Oh my god, it was high interest rates. His sales came crashing down. His dreams about being the best job broker were wiped out the door, and he was left in a broken industry trying to make it through. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you probably realize interest rates are through the roof and the yachting industry is suffering because of that. Now, people want to sell, but they don't want to list. And what that means is, or sellers want to sell, but they don't want to list. And what that means is, they want to sell their yachts, but they're not willing to list it at current market conditions because they don't want to lose a lot of money from the initial amount that they bought it for. On top of that, buyers don't want to buy yachts because the value of yachts are fluctuating and they don't want to invest in something that could be depreciating, which a yacht definitely is. And on top of that, because of high interest rates, they really don't want to go for a loan and try to take out a loan to buy a yacht, knowing they're going to have to pay more each month. And on top of all that, the only thing that's appreciating right now is interest rates. And if you don't know how that affects the market, essentially when interest rates rise, when people take out loans, they have to pay more each month. And because of that, people stop taking out loans and are not willing to take out loans to buy yachts, which greatly affects the market. And because of the large supply and low demand, I think you guys pretty much know what happens. Now, I know I promised to speak how you can sort of counter this, how you can make it through, and how you can flourish even when the markets are down. But this is what I'd like to say. The one trick to make it through a market is persevere through it. So essentially, think of it like investing in Bitcoin during the beginning phases of it. Now, I'm not saying to invest in Bitcoin. This is not a financial advice channel. On top of that, think of it as investing in a stock or a company once it was small. Imagine investing in Apple when it first started. Imagine how much your investment would be worth now. So this is what persevering through this industry is. Many yacht brokers will run away. They see these signs. They see the red arrows going down with the price of the yacht. So they run away. They try to hide. And they get away from the yacht industry. But that's good for you. Let me explain why. Most of these people are going to escape the yachting industry during these periods of like turmoil. But what you want to do is you want to do the opposite. You want to stick to it. You want to persevere. You want to build your connections. And the thing is, I say it's hard to sell a yacht, but you still could sell it. You still could find yachts to list, and you could still find buyers to buy those yachts. The only problem is it's a bit harder now than it was back at COVID. So what you got to do is just work 10 times harder, put in the numbers, persevere through this, and then once the market is back up, you remember all these brokers who ran away? They'll come running back. They see the money and they come back. But what's going to happen is you built a connection or like connections that those brokers can only dream of. You have experience those brokers can only dream of, and you'd be the center and the best broker people would be going to. So now you wanted like a easy solution, a short-term solution, but honestly, the best solution is just persevere, make it through this, make it at the other end of the market conditions, and believe me, you'll be at the top of the world and the best broker out there. Now, like I mentioned, it's not completely dead. You still could find buyers and sellers. As a matter of fact, we work with our brokers to get them more buyers and sellers. And the month of October and November were our best month this entire year. So I know it's harder, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. So just put in the work and believe me, you still could get results right now. And in the long run, it'll pay off in dividends. And like I mentioned, just play the long game. Like I said, it's like investing in Bitcoin or a company at the startup stage. And just look at how much it would be worth now. Just persevere through it, and believe me, at the other end of the industry, you have a lot of money coming to you. If you like this video, I left a free training down below on how we help our yacht brokers get more listings and buyers, even with these market conditions. Check that out, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.